Shit.
Oh, shit. It's another episode of Shootin' the Shit.
Shit poopy, shit poopy, shit poopy. The
girl is hard to get.
Shit poopy, shit poopy, shit poopy.
But you could win her yet.
And here I am.
And I did it! I won it!
I did it! You both charmed me into the room. Mostly
Very good.
Joel.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I charmed her by looking into the living room and saying we're doing Shootin' the Shit after I took a piss.
Yeah, and I was watching a show.
After he was shaking off the dew off the
I was
lizard
watching
or
one of
whatever
my
it is.
stories, and I didn't hear him at first, and I was like, what? Like, I did a literal, like, what did you just say? And he's like, you want to go shoot the shit? And I had to think about it, like,
No?
oh, your show.
What were you watching in there?
Oh, Designing Women from the 80s.
Designing
I heard
Women.
that came out.
It's a fucking awesome show. I used to watch it when it was just, like, on, like, syndication as a kid. Like, I think my mom would have it on every now and then. But it's set in Georgia, like Atlanta, Georgia, and it's so good.
Georgia?
I mean,
Georgia!
there are some things that don't quite live up to, like, our current political correctness standards.
Sure.
But one of the lead characters, she's amazing.
Georgia.
Julia Sugarbaker. She has more
Julia Sugarbaker.
Georgia.
Sugarbaker. She has more gumption than any character I think I've ever seen, and she just like is well spoken and like Southern and just like a feminist and just super cool. And she owns a design firm in her home with like two of her friends and her sister, and her younger sister's like an ex-beauty queen.
Yeah.
Delta Burke plays her, and she's gorgeous, but she's also just like plays that sister who's like flamboyantly like out there and thinks
Sure.
she's so beautiful. It is like the jokes are hilarious.
Never seen it.
It's pretty great. I want to be more like Julia Sugarbaker.
So, we have a Roku, and we always... What's going on?
I was trying.
Are you even recording?
To pull up Georgia. You stuck. With a fucking YouTube with their goddamn ads.
God damn it.
Hold on. Ah, fuck this shit. Skip ad. Hold on. Now the joke's passed. The joke's passed.
Anyway, we have a Roku, and every time it's on like their, I don't know, like the screensaver, it
Oh, yeah.
on the billboards of like the
Yeah, it's like a little city scene that like scrolls by and it has
Right.
all these weird
right like
film
movie-esque,
references.
yeah. So it's got billboards in the city of like things you can watch on Roku channels.
Is Designing Women
Yeah.
one of them?
No, but
Oh.
this is completely off topic. But Unsolved Mysteries is one, and I want to watch the shit out of that.
I'd
Yeah.
watch that. You know what I'd watch
Keep me
more
up at
of?
night. Designing Women.
Family Matters.
Beyond Belief.
Oh,
Fact or
my,
fiction.
Beyond
I
Belief.
know I've seen it, but I can't.
Jonathan
think of
Frakes.
I'm gonna look this shit up and see if I can
it. I'm
find
telling
some
you,
fucking...
like Designing Women is pretty badass.
All right, I don't think I've ever heard of it before now.
Julia, who's like older than her younger sister by like probably 10 years, like same distance as my sister and I. She, even though her sister drives her crazy, she was backstage at a beauty pageant, and Julia, the older sister, hears the recent beauty queen like talking shit about her sister and being like, they're just making fun of
Guts
her.
her.
And
Field dresses
being
her.
awful and just saying like these awful things. And so the friend of the current beauty queen leaves, and as the beauty queen gets up to leave the dressing room, Julia shuts the door and she gives her the most eloquent, cutting speech, to the point that like she backs her up against a table and the beauty queen's like leaned back, like has nothing to say. And she's good. And she ends it with, and that's the night the lights went out in Georgia. And it was so
Georgia.
What'd you talk about?
amazing. Where have you been, you idiot? What are you doing?
Georgia.
Damn it. It is that speech alone was so good. It's
Georgia.
You guys.
Georgia,
All right, I didn't say it wasn't.
the whole day through. Just an old
To make sure he doesn't cry. And I can't tell if it's his headphones or
Little whines from the other room.
little whimpers. Let me hear.
Were we talking on air or off air about mowing the lawn?
I think it was off air.
Because I need to mow mine like a son of a bitch.
God damn it. I need to mow mine so bad. I mowed my lawn for a row. And the motherfucker decided to not work. And every time I revved it up, it would rev and then it would just stop. And I don't know.
Did you put gas in it?
I put gas in it? I did all the fuck. I put gas in it every time I do the shit.
Did you talk nice to it? I don't know. Did you kick it?
Did you prime it?
What?
Like,
you press the button to prime the
I love my parents.
Obviously,
but
you've never mowed our lawn.
I love my parents,
Nor
but
will
like
I ever now.
my dad will do this shit all the time where he was like, sounded like your lawnmower was gonna do something, so I took it with me and I did some shit to it, so it should be fine now. And that's always
fine.
It's always when it like takes a shit on me.
Yeah.
And then I have to call him and like, oh wait a minute, I think I don't think I did this. So
is it kind of like when Troy's Uncle Randy did his brakes and then his wheel fell off and broke the wheel bearing as we were driving?
Yeah. Was it like that?
Know.
Like a favor
probably
that just
was.
ends horribly?
Fucking A.
But it's always that shit.
Dude, I literally bought a lawnmower from Walmart for like $120. And I've left that shit outside for weeks, and that thing still turns on just fine.
Yeah, quit it. You know, just quit it.
I don't treat it well.
Go over there and get one. They've got to be on clearance right now at the end of the season.
The one thing I have only ever done is replace the blade on it once. That's all I've ever done.
That's it. Till now. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
See, and my dad will take my shit and be like, oh, I sharpened the blade for you, and then I did some stuff to it, and then, like, well, what's the stuff? Oh, you know, just normal stuff you usually do. Well, it stopped working. What was the fucking stuff?
Yeah, but then I heard him at your cookout, like, giving you a hard time because he didn't believe you that it burned out. He felt like you're just full of shit. But he's so funny
I
that, like,
didn't even tell him that
him.
that it burnt out. I just told him that it was smoking, and then the ripcord stopped working. And he took that as, well, he told me it blew up, so...
Yeah, he like didn't believe you, but he was so funny about it that it was like kind of believable.
God,
he's a funny man.
He just wants to throw me under the bus all the time.
He just wants to shit in your
like he
open
wants
mouth.
to make me feel like I'm less of a man.
No,
so
he
can
doesn't.
feel like
you're his sweet little baby boy. You're
like
his little
he can
bird.
feel like I'm fucking.
He's probably outside listening to make sure that you're not whimpering.
God damn it! It's supposed to rain tomorrow.
Fuck! I don't know when the fuck I'm supposed to mow this goddamn lawn.
Maybe you missed the mark.
I was gonna mow mine tomorrow before we pick up Macy. It's supposed to be raining the whole morning.
I would have got mine mowed today if it wasn't my fucking lawnmower. God damn it, Georgia!
Georgia.
You need to watch that show. Okay,
I
you need
feel
a little
like
bit
at
of
one
design
Georgia.
I feel like one point the city's gonna be at our door, like, you need to mow that shit.
At the end of the season?
At the end of the season, especially, everything's going to seed.
Oh
Looks terrible.
Okay, it's not that bad.
Well, it's bad.
Ugh.
It is bad.
I don't know. Waiting for Toot to just say some shit.
Officer Toot.
Officer Toot.
Tooting up the place.
Chief
I haven't
Toot.
seen him. Actually, every time I've driven past like the local cop car, probably the last few months, it has not been him.
Yeah.
So I thought he was our only cop, but I guess there's more. Yeah, people have never
More
seen
cops.
before.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
and not state boys, not sheriff's boys,
God.
local cop. So I don't know what Toot's up to.
Don't know either.
Taking a lot of time off, maybe.
Completely different other news. It was our anniversary on Friday.
Oh.
We went to 2 breweries.
Nice segue.
Shit.
On
Nice
Saturday.
lack of segue.
I don't feel like I need to segue everything.
Oh.
We're shooting the shit. Who gives a fuck?
That's right.
Breweries
all right.
were great. I
They
wish
were
we got to
great.
spend more time at the first one we went to, Dimensional Brewery.
We could have. We just left after one.
So, like, that one, like, I think they changed their whole menu. Have you
Yeah.
ever been to that one?
What's the dimensional one?
Oh,
The Dimensional's
Dimensional is
on, like,
friggin'
Main
amazing.
Street.
Oh, really?
Down at the very end in, like, a
Yeah,
cul-de-sac.
like as you're driving towards the port, you'll see it on the left-hand side.
I'd probably go to it, but Molly hates fucking beer. It sucks.
Oh my god.
It sucks.
They have
Maybe we
Diet
should
Coke.
go there sometime.
It's
Yeah.
friggin' amazing. And the front of the building has like glass.
Let's ditch my future wife
garage
and go.
doors.
to
Well,
the-
I think they've got like
Soda.
sangrias.
Yeah, they have
All
soda
right,
and
we
stuff.
could probably do that.
I think they have it
It's
anyway.
really cool. It's very hipster in there, and they can open up the front of the building because it's just giant glass, like garage.
Well, I'm not
doors.
much of a hipster, so I can't.
He whispers
Whatever.
through his coarse
Mr.
hipster
PBR.
beard and beer. Even your glasses,
I know.
they're like from the
It's
50s.
fucking gross.
Well,
Anyway, it was good, but like I thought I remembered like what I got there last time. I'm gonna get that again, something else, and then they changed up the whole menu. And I knew we had other things to do that day, so we didn't spend a ton of time there. But then I'm like, hey, let's walk to this other one. Have you ever been to the Back Pocket Brewery?
Yeah, is that
The
the
one
one
with
with
the
the
arcade?
Yeah, yeah. Well, we met there that one time.
that's one of my
Oh, yeah, that's-
favorites. Oh,
That
And
was
it
pretty
ended up
good.
being like 9 blocks away, and I was like,
Whoa.
ugh. So it was like, not only that, but like, we were also taking Miles there, so we pushed him in the stroller, and it started to kind of sprinkle, so I was like worried that it was just going to be the end of days. But it ended up being pretty good.
It was
that
pretty
was
good.
packed, too. And
Yeah,
they
the
have
other
way
Back
more
Pocket
room in
was-
there now.
yeah.
Really?
They moved all the arcade downstairs.
and
Oh,
then they
shit.
So all that
broke
rest of it is seating, and then they're
broke
all
through the wall.
They broke through the wall, and there's way more seating and like
in a
pool
courtyard area.
and
Yeah, like
Well, that whole area is so weird because it's like everything is like interconnected, so you have to like follow a bunch of signs to go to the bathroom. Even
not anymore. There's one
no,
like super
it's,
close.
it's super cool because they made it like a banquet center too. So it's like a banquet
Good.
hall and
Yeah,
bar and stuff. But they had like big wooden Connect 4 sets
Oh,
like at the
nice.
table, and it was just like open seating. It was really cool.
it was good.
I love a good brewery.
So do I.
Yeah,
Golly.
Seal of approval here.
I know. I haven't been to the Galena one in a long time.
Woof.
Yeah, we were just talking about
yeah,
that.
we were talking about how it sucks.
We we haven't been there in so long that we don't even know what
Yeah,
it's
maybe
like.
it's fine now. but
and
it
maybe
sucked.
try it again somewhat soon.
Yeah, because I know you guys used to do day dates there.
Yeah,
every
free children. It was
Sunday
amazing.
morning or Saturday morning.
Sundays we would roll out of bed, get dressed, walk down like
Yeah.
responsible adults.
Yeah.
Walk the 6 blocks down, and then we would start there. And they had half price appetizers, so they were like $4 or $5.
Shit.
And then they had half price pints too. So you got craft beer and like a giant pretzel and wings. I think they had wings really cheap. And then so we would get like real tipsy. We would purposely talk to whatever cool bartender was on hand and just like
Yeah.
shoot the shit.
Yeah.
Ayo.
Ayo.
And then we would walk down the street and pretend we were tourists,
Yeah.
like tipsy. And then we'd go get whatever warm caramel corn just came out of the popcorn store.
Yeah.
Still warm. And then we would go try all the dips and hot sauces at the one shop and just like refill up. And then we would slowly make our way back and walk 6 blocks home and be like somewhat sober by that point.
Yeah, and that would be at most maybe $30.
Yeah, it was
for the whole
yeah.
day.
And we
Yeah,
would-
it's not bad.
And we could just like hide in the crowd and just feel like anonymous. It was really
Yeah.
cool.
But yeah, to go down there, each of us have like maybe 2 or 3 pints,
And you'd feel
which
it.
would have been like $20 for
Yeah.
that, and then like
Not even.
no,
so,
it would have been
half
like
off. They were
that
cheap.
on with a half price appetizer on top of that. It'd
Yeah.
be $20. You'd leave tipsy and full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just go like do whatever else. It was pretty good. And then one weekend we just went down there, and then they just like,
Our
we've
normal
never done
routine.
that.
Yeah, we
Like,
sat at a
fuck
table and the
you,
waitress
you've never done that.
She said that to us because we're like, "Oh, are you? I don't see the sign for the half price appetizers and pints." And she literally looked me in the face, that bitch, and she said,
Jesus.
she had." But it was like we've never, because it's a tourist town. I think
Oh,
she
yeah.
assumed like she could just get
I
away
can,
with
I can
like
get I can get these people. Fuck
bullshitting,
'em.
and I was just like, I was just here last weekend. Like I
I
ate a
live
giant
here.
pretzel for $4.
We've done
You
it the
are
last
a
3
liar.
weekends.
Here's my driver's license, asshole.
She couldn't even be nice about it and just be like, "Oh yeah, sorry, like you're local and like you've seen us here, you've waited on us."
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Fuck 'em.
Let's try it again sometime.
Sorry,
Let's go there
OJ's
sometime
gonna
soon.
need me to birds that, but
Yeah. That's
I
all
don't want
right.
to go there.
I'll birds it,
Well,
don't
and not
worry.
only that, but their
No, you
food
won't.
sucks. Like it's not good brewery food.
Yeah, they don't even have a hamburger.
Like it'll be
on the
like
menu.
duck confit side salad, and it's like
Duck confit.
yeah, seriously, they have like really,
No one gives a shit about any
and
of
it's
that.
like not done very well, and it just like the appetizers were the only good thing.
yeah,
food was
They have
not
like a
good.
freaking
Yeah.
2-pound pretzel or whatever it was.
That
Like,
was
what's I
good.
got every time.
Dude,
That's right.
so like the place that me and Molly always go when like she gets off work super early is like we'll go to Small Town.
Yeah.
They have like some really sweet like lunch specials.
Oh yeah.
Like
when
they'll do like some shit where it's like I didn't even know you could make that.
before we had any kids, like on Sundays,
It
like
was like 50-cent wings. Or
me
Yeah.
and my brother Blake would like get done mowing our lawns. The
we'd
noon
all
whistle
meet there,
would go
and we'd go
off,
get beer.
and we
Then
would go up to
Yabba
small
dabba
town.
do up
Yeah.
to.
We would yabba dabba do up to Small Town Saloon,
It's true.
and we would hit their lunch special up, and it was amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did it all the time.
I had like a
God,
cold,
our
like summer
life was
shandy.
cool.
Yeah.
Go up there just after a nice sweaty mow. Oh my god, it
Yeah.
was so good.
Like there was like times where like Molly would get off work super early and then she'd ask me where to go to lunch and it's either E-Town just to get coffee
yeah,
or to Small Town because it was like you go there and be like, you guys are fucking making tacos? Fuck yeah, I want a bunch of tacos.
yeah.
Like you're at a burger place and you're making a shit ton of tacos.
Yeah, they pretty much make just anything.
They'll make anything. I
And
bet
it's
if you
good.
corner the chef, she'll be like, "Oh, fine, I'll fucking make you
Yeah,
that."
they need to make money, man. They
Yeah.
gotta make those bills.
Yeah. They're good. Like they're probably like the most low key place in the whole town, but they make probably the best food.
Yeah,
I
would
agree. Their food's really good.
Yeah, we haven't been there in a long time.
I know.
It's good
well,
shit.
it's hard now because like they don't really have great seating if you have a ton of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we can go with the kids and there's like one table in back, but like usually if somebody finds out we're going there, it's like your brother and his wife and your parents and the other brother and then your
I know.
aunt and then
all of a sudden, there's like 12 people
and then
you
we're
have to
just
accommodate.
at a line at the bar and you can't really talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Still a good time though.
It was a good
We
time.
need to get rid of these kids and go up there more
Oh
often.
my god. I took him to one of my secret lunch spots today. You want a good discounted lunch?
It was fine. I've never been to one of those
It's a
before.
good deal.
It was a
I
good
know how
deal.
to find a good deal.
Yeah, and I didn't even hate what I had. I just
No.
like never have been to one because I've never felt the urge to need to go to a Fazoli's.
I've always heard good things about Fazoli's. I've never had it.
Unlimited breadsticks, just like Olive Garden. They're
Shit, when you
salty
hear your
and
family.
like buttery.
Yeah.
They're a little saltier, but they're delicious. And they have a $5 lunch deal during the week until 4 p.m. where you get to choose 2 pastas with a drink and unlimited breadsticks for $5.
It's a good deal.
And they have the sweetest little old lady working as like a waitress there.
At one of the locations, not at
Only
every
one.
location.
Every location gets their own designated sweet old
We've
lady.
talked about her on Charm Type, but like
Yeah.
I actually, before I had Miles,
Pass me a brew over here.
she just is so sweet and she is like great customer service and she's like that sweet older lady who like stops and like just makes your day better. So I stopped and told her, I was like, have just the best customer service. And I even like touched her shoulder and she was so sweet.
I want to buy you.
Yeah. Hey, whoa. But I have to say, for like $11, we had a pretty nice little lunch today.
That's a good little lunch.
Little lunch secret. I know like all the spots around here.
Yeah.
I like to think I'm in the know.
I just bring my lunch to work.
Oh well.
I know that's not
You
fun.
also don't get to like leave.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
I don't get to leave.
And there are a lot of days I work through my lunch. And stay an hour
You
late.
work through a Fazoli's?
I work through a Fazoli's because that's where I work. It was good, man. And she was there today, so he got to see her.
Oh,
I was so
shit.
proud.
I was so proud.
It was so...
She's so cute.
She was really nice, too. I thought she was like a total biatch at first when she was like behind the counter.
Why? 'Cause she
Oh,
was just
God.
quietly doing her job.
She looked like she had a pissed off face because she was like
she's
carrying a
so
tray of something.
sweet.
And then she came out and she was just like, "Oh my god, your baby's so cute.
Yeah, and then she
Look
brought
at
us-
how wide awake
She
he
asked,
is."
she's like, "Would you like some more breadsticks?" In the sweet old grandma way, and I was like, "I would, thank you so much." And she comes over and she's like, "Okay, so they just put the tray in the oven. I just didn't want you to think I forgot." And I'm like, "This is a Fazoli's
Brings
in
over
a gas
more
station."
breadsticks. Like, now, don't burn your mouth on these. They're hot out the oven.
And they were piping hot. And she
And
gave us,
yes,
like,
I did
extra.
burn my mouth on
Yes,
them,
and
old
they
lady.
were fucking delicious and salty and amazing, and they're the reason you go there.
I'm just imagining the situation where Troy just treats this sweet old lady like shit the whole time.
He did not.
Whatever.
He said thank you.
Whatever.
And let
Look,
him into
I know
my
the
life.
face you were giving when I came in. Fuck you.
I can't believe
You
you
stupid old bitch.
You
Oh,
stupid
my
old
God.
bitch.
Don't you say that about her.
She did. She looked.
I
I
wish I
didn't.
knew her name. Oh my God.
She was like just kind of shuffling. It looked like she had a mean scowl.
No, I think she has like a bad back. Like she kind of has like that grandma like.
I know what you're trying to do.
She's so sweet. Like, I love that. I've been there when she's not there, and I'm like, oh, it's a fucking gas station. Like, this sucks. But, like, when she's there, she's just such a sweetheart. And she always brings you breads.
God.
And she grinds Parmesan onto your pasta if you like, just like at Olive Garden.
Yeah.
But it's $5 Okay, mine was $6. I upgraded and got chicken.
Jesus Christ.
Have you guys ever worked at food service?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
I know you worked at food service for at least a day.
I worked for a few months.
You're
Fuckhead.
so sour about that. So, my first job was working at the restaurant right up the street.
Yeah.
And I was there
that's
for a long
Oh,
time.
yeah, that's right.
But then, like, so the restaurant that we both got a job at around the same time, which I'm pissed off I never gotten to work with you at any place ever.
Yeah, I know.
But,
We'd rule that.
I actually got paid more at the restaurant up the street than I did at, like, that resort.
I don't blame you. Because they paid me like shit. And then, like, they paid me like shit, and then they said, well, you get tips, but it's determined by the waiters. And then the waiters would be like, fuck you. And they would, like, give me, like, fucking, like, they'd throw me, like, $1 or $2.
Yeah. See, I got, at the restaurant up here, I wasn't technically a waiter, so I got paid, like, the minimum wage.
Yeah.
So I didn't get paid, like, a wait staff
5
wage.
cents an hour.
Well, when
pretty low.
I started working, it was like $5.50 an hour. I think minimum wage was.
When I was a waitress in high school at a little cafe, it was like 2 something an hour.
If you were a waitress,
Yeah, it was
probably.
seriously like $2 an hour.
Yeah.
And it was a bullshit little cafe full of old people.
But I got paid more than the wait staff did because I was a busser, and I got 10% of their tips for the night. And I worked Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday morning, so I worked the busiest times. So I usually got the
I wish
most
I would have
tips.
gone
Yeah.
in back then and had you.
Like, I didn't
fix my
even
table.
hate that job, but, like, after I got into, like, an accident at my other job that I had, I couldn't
remember that
do that
shit.
one because I couldn't be on my feet as much. So I continued just to work at the job I got injured at instead.
R.I.P.
Because I only had to stand in, like,
That's how
a
they got
checkout
ya.
booth or whatever, like a little register. That's all I had to do.
Yeah, food service is weird. Like, people, I feel like
People are
people are
jerks.
people are way more picky when it comes to their food.
Yeah, that's the only reason I don't want to work at
Yeah.
a food place.
I've worked both, like, retail and food is way worse, where, like, people are just like, okay, well, if you're gonna do this, then what do I get for free? I'm
Try
like, I don't give
selling
a
wedding
fucking
dresses
give a
or
shit.
being a bank teller. I tell you, both have assholes.
I think food is still
I
worse.
don't know.
Yes.
Wedding
Food
dresses
is-
can be real
yeah.
rough.
I get wedding dresses can be rough, but like that's rough because it's like a $700 dress or whatever, and like the same kind of bitch
I've
can
worked
be
in
for a
food
$2
industry.
Yeah.
plate of
I get it.
spaghetti.
Yeah.
I get it.
When someone is fucking railing you for a $5 thing of
Yeah.
mozzarella sticks, it kind of pisses you off.
No, I would get yelled at by this group of like really wealthy farmer elderly people in town.
Wealthy
and like the
farmer
owner of the
elderly.
cafe yelled at me in front of them, even though I wrote down what the fucking guy told me he wanted and brought it out to him, and then he like very loudly was like, "This isn't what I," and I know that's what he ordered, and she yelled at me in front of them, totally giving them free reign to just be fucking awful to me. And I remember the one day I did full service around the table, and they had ceiling fans in the place because you could still smoke back then
Yeah.
in there. And I mean, it's just a small cafe, but they had ceiling fans up high. And the lady tells me as she sets down a 10-cent tip on the table, it's because I left the ceiling fans on and her soup got cold while she was talking to her friends at the table. Left me 10 fucking cents. And they're some of the wealthiest people in town. She was fucking awful. It was like they expected the Ritz-Carlton service.
Right.
And I was so shy. I was terrified. And I wrote everything down. I mean, I tried so hard, but I would go home crying like every day.
Oh,
People were so mean to me.
At the job that you quit after a day,
Yeah.
at Woodland, at this fucking resort that I worked at for my first job, there was this big fucking table, and it was right next to a window. So I was going around, and like my boss is always like stingy. It was like every time a table shows, we got to fill every single water. So I went around filling waters, whatever. And this one guy had his chair all the way back, so I couldn't get past him. And like my fucking boss is like, you gotta fucking fill your water. So I was like, I reached over and I filled his water, and he's like, excuse me, what are you doing? It's like, oh, I'm filling your water. And he's like, so you're reaching over my table to fill my water? He's like, yeah, I couldn't get past you. I was like, well, that's kind of inappropriate. You should probably apologize to the entire table for your misbehavior. So I had to. So he made me apologize to every single person at his table, and there was like 10 people at his table. And then as I'm leaving, he's like, "Can you believe this motherfucker?" As I'm leaving.
So, okay, the only day I ever worked at that same job,
spit in their food.
I had a completely different experience.
Yeah.
So, like, I must have been there on a semi-slow day, and there was, like, a woman there who was eating by herself.
Who was touching your crotch.
No.
That's where this is going.
She was eating by herself, and so, like, I didn't really have anything else to do or didn't know what else to do there.
Yeah.
So I just kind of stood there, and, like, she started up a conversation with me because her husband was out golfing or whatever.
She's a lonely,
and so
wealthy woman.
I like filled a water. She started talking to me, and I just sat down at the table with her and talked to her for like 30 minutes. Like, I'm not even joking. And she
Christ.
showed me pictures of her daughter and said that I'd be like a good boy to date her daughter and all that kind of shit.
Jesus.
And then I was like, I got up and I was like, oh, well, have a nice day. And I went back into the kitchen or whatever. And the other waiters were like, do you know her? I'm like, no. And they were like, looked extremely pissed that I was not helping do anything else because I was already like, fuck this job. I get paid less than I already do at this other restaurant.
Yeah.
Plus, my dad is a fucking kind of a dick for this because, like, I was in high school and he said that I needed to work all the time. And so, like, I already had a job at a restaurant up the street. I had a job at the grocery store across the street from that restaurant. I had high school to go to, and he wanted me to have this other job as well.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when do you want me just to be a kid? Like, I'm still
shit.
in high school.
Yeah, but your dad is like one of those people who's constantly doing something. Like, he does not like to be bored.
Yeah, I get that. And
He does not have, he's like, doesn't have idle hands.
I get that.
So
and
I can
like,
see him being like, you just need to be, and he probably thought if you were like busy, then you wouldn't get, there's no chance of you like getting in trouble or like getting a girl pregnant.
whatever. Like, I was ever going to have that happen anyway. But, like,
Heyo.
but, like, I quit that after a day. And I was like, no, I'm not going to go there anymore. And then I got, like, hurt at that other job. And then I could only do one of them anyway. That was, like, my junior year. My entire junior year.
Yeah, your job fucking sucked. Because we were both bussers, and I was a busser there, and then it was like, well, you get 10% of the waiter's tips, and then the 10% is determined by what the waiter says they made in tips. I would legit get, like, dirty looks by the waiters being like, slow night. And I would, like, and because I was bussing every table, I would fucking, like, I'd be pulling, like, $100, $200 off the tables for tips.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, yeah, it was a slow night. Here's a $2. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking kill you in the parking lot.
There, like, I don't even, like, I remember actually when I was there too, like, I was cleaning off all the tables, and there's this one table that I'm like, are they gone? And so I cleaned it off, and I started putting it on, like, my tray to take back, and then I realized they were still there, and I'm like, oh shit, so I just put everything back on their table, and, like, I think you're not supposed to do that, because it's, like, a sanitary thing, but I just put all that shit back on their table and left. I was like,
my
fuck
first
this.
time I worked there was for a brunch, and, like, it got to a point where it was, like, I was clearing off tables when I thought they were gone, and there was, like, legit a table with, like, a bunch of, like, empty, dirty plates. And I started clearing it off, and as I was doing it, they were like, we're still here! And I'm like, oh, fuck. So then, like, suddenly, like, the owner comes out, like, oh, I'm so sorry, he's new. And then, like, it's like, you like saw like a light go off in their head where it's like, we can get away with anything we want.
The minute the owners talk shit about you in front of them or like make an excuse,
then they're just like, oh, I can do whatever I want now. So they're like following the manager around, like, I want this for free, and I want this for free, and I want this for free, and they're just like fucking like waiting on hand and foot. Where I'm like, Jesus Christ, get a fucking life, you stupid old pieces of shit.
People suck.
Yeah.
I would never do
and
that.
it's kind of like a hoity-toity resort, too, so the people have money.
Yeah. But it's like they're waiting for that one excuse. Like, I worked at a fucking pizza place near the town that resort's at, and it's like there would be like some douchebag fucking people that would show up there to be like, I'm gonna be like the common folk, and the minute something didn't go right for them, they would be like, oh, okay, well then just tell me what I get for free now.
That's like the old people
where
in
I'm
the cafe.
Like, what the fuck?
You know what's even worse is that those same resort people who own homes, like it was the homeowners, would come into my family's like small shop in that town where like we all work hard and it's like a family run business, and it was a jewelry / bead store, and they would legit ask for a discount because they lived in the territory.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, so you have a second home.
Yeah.
A beautiful multi-million-dollar home, and you want a fucking discount on this $10 bead purchase, you old bitch. And they were like, well, can't you, because we had a loyalty card where we would write down like what you spend, and like certain people got discount. Yeah. And there was one lady who sincerely wanted us to have a special membership card just for them with a deeper discount so we could keep track of it. And I wanted to be like, I do not feel sorry for you. You are wealthy. You are 1%. Like, I'm making fucking minimum wage in my family's business where I work every weekend.
Yeah.
Like, get out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
She's like dripping in, but it's always rich people that want like something for nothing. And they expect everything to be perfect for nothing. Hate them.
Jerks.
Chelsea, that's why trickle-down economics works.
I get rich.
Trickle-down. Reagan made it the best.
Yeah, Reagan's so smart. He knows how it's done. Rich people are always so giving.
Should have married Rich.
Should have married Reagan. That's what I thought you were going to say.
Should have married Reagan.
Fuck them.
It was crazy. I hated that. And it used to make me, and I was really polite, but I was just like, how could you ask that?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, if you ever want to feel like a peon, work at a small town where rich people live nearby.
Yeah, from
you will
suburbs.
have the best self-esteem.
Except I always used to get like the best of them because they would come in and they like if I would always ask where they were from.
Oh, I would do the same shit because
So
I worked at the grocery store kind of in the same town.
Well, and I grew up in the Chicago suburbs, so I know where these suburbs are located, and they're not in Chicago proper, you stupid idiot. So these people would come out and they would come into my parents' shop and they would talk to me like I'm some country bumpkin. I'd be like, oh, where are you from? And they would, oh, Chicago. And I'm like, oh, really? You live downtown?
You live near the Loop?
And I'm like, and then I would mention the suburb that we had just moved from, which is a little more hoity, or that I grew up in, and all of a sudden you could just see them completely deflate and feel like a total jerk and be like, oh, it's Naperville. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, really?
And I was like, oh, nice. Like, and it's not a bad slumber. I mean, Naperville's very nice, but you could just see in their face, they were like, I was just really fucking awful to this local girl that I thought was some bumpkin.
Yeah.
And I would school them. And then I would be like, yeah, I just got back from a study abroad to Thailand. And I would just like school their stupid asses. And then finally they would be like, why did you move out here? I just can't. What could possibly... And I'm like, because I didn't want to deal with everything out there. Like, I don't care about the labels.
Yeah. So... at the grocery store.
Why are you visiting? It's a gorgeous place to be.
We moved back from like the Chicago suburb area, and I got a job at this grocery
We're like
store.
in a suburb neighboring the nicer suburb.
Oh yeah, but like I would do the kind of the same thing where we get a lot of tourists in, and they'd be like, I'd be like, oh, where are you guys from? You don't look familiar. And they'd be like, oh, we're from Chicago.
And they
Chicago.
They do. They raise their head up, like the chin goes up and the nose.
I'm like, oh, what part? And they'd be like, oh, we're from Hinsdale.
Do you
I'm
know
like,
where that
that's
is?
That's not
though?
fucking Chicago. And I'm like, oh, okay, like off Kingery Highway?
Yeah.
And they'd be like, Oh, you know where it's at? Yeah, I used to grow up out. I lived out there for like 5 years.
Please think I'm special. Oh.
They do though. They like think
And they're like,
super
oh,
special.
and it does deflate him a little bit. And I'm like, fuck you, I
I
gotcha,
know,
you dumb
it was
bitch.
like the best feeling. 'Cause
I
it was
wish I
like,
knew
you're
that
jerks.
shit. I would fucking. God. I worked at like a pizza place like in a town close to that resort called Happy Joe's, where like we would get people like that every once in a while, and you could tell who they were because they would come in and they would just like sit and be like, "I will take your."
Like they have a British accent.
Yeah, pretty almost. Like, I will take a pizza.
If that's
this
what
is-
you call it.
yeah, this is
pizza?
well, they would like
crust gluten
every time that they like we would come in, they would be like, "This is fun, isn't it? This is fun. Aren't we having fun right now?" Like, "Oh, excuse me, sir. Do we get our order with you?" Like, "No, you go to the counter." What? We have to talk to someone else besides you, but you're here. Like, well, it's done at the counter. I don't make the fucking policy. Right? And then it was like the minute from that moment on, you could tell that they were just like, what can we do to make them think that we're more special?
I don't know. Let's go to the local
Well, they're just like-
VFW and order a Chardonnay.
Yeah.
Instant dickery.
They're just like looking around, and then
Dickery
like
at the
it's like,
finest.
oh,
Yeah.
your appetizer's taking 15 minutes. Like your appetizer's taking 15 minutes more than like 5 minutes. It was like, oh my goodness, oh, our appetizer's not here yet. What can we get for free then? Like, well, nothing.
Oh.
But we've been waiting longer than usual.
You know what's
Give
crazy,
us something.
Is you could weed out the people who actually were from like downtown Chicago and had like nice jobs because they were the nicest, unassuming people, and they always wore black,
Yeah.
and they were just like real chill about it, and they're like never
Like,
ever
yeah,
had an
wh-
air of arrogance.
Yeah, they'd be like, where are you from? Chicago.
Like,
Like, oh, we're
really?
from.
And
Yeah,
then-
we're from the Loop. And they wouldn't just be like,
Yeah,
nothing
no one
about
shit.
it.
No one from the actual like big city, like a big cultural center,
Yeah.
acted like a piece of shit. It was all the suburban people who were like, and that's that attitude out there. Like, have to be better than
Fuck
the
'em.
Joneses. The best thing is when they would come out here and like, I can say the state, right? So they would come out to our little town,
Yeah.
and I would ask them where they're from, and then they would say the state that they were still currently in.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Yeah.
Illinois. Like, you didn't go far, did you?
That's what I would say. I'd be like, you're still here.
Yeah.
You have not left. We're not in a man. We are. I got that a few times. Like, did you know where you were going? Or
Yeah. Fools.
Like, it's funny because like most of the people, because of my wrestling mostly, like most of the people I've met from actual Chicago work like 3 jobs.
Yeah.
And
are
like
just,
live in an apartment where they said that, oh, someone got shot near me the other day.
yeah.
Or I'm like, Jesus. And then I live out here where it's like close to a resort where it's like, I'm from Chicago. Where I was like, oh, really? Because I have a friend that lives out there that fucking tells me about like, he fucking like knows about shootings that happen near him on a regular basis.
Yeah. It was crazy. We went down a dark path.
Yeah, we did. What time are we at on here now?
Like 38.
Cathartic.
All right. What, you want to call it?
I mean, we can.
You
Gives a
got,
shit.
you got anything else?
Got-
Got anything else?
He's always like doing this on Charm Type too. He's always like,
anything
and
else?
that'll be the end of the show.
anything else?
You got anything else? And I'm sitting here like, yeah, some of the funniest shit, boy.
Oh my god.
Cut me off early,
Oh
boy.
my god. Oh,
This
sausage
show-
is made.
Shit, boy.
You do
How the
review, and you talk
sausages
for
are made.
4 fucking hours about one movie. We do a show and we go 31 minutes, and you're like,
All right, let's get the fuck.
time's out of here. Where
fuck
can they
outta
find us, Chelsea Danger?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, we
Yeah,
we
I'm
don't have. We
always
have.
gripping on.
We have no boundaries with talking.
I
with-
I
could-
hope
with
somebody
shooting
tweets
shit.
you. I hope
I
OJ
like
or
a-
someone tweets you.
You know
and is
what?
like,
They're
yes,
more than welcome to tweet me because you know what? I like a nice tight show. There's not a lot of podcasts out
You're not
there
keeping this
that
guy
are
on a
30.
tightrope.
I have told this guy to cut it down a fucking 100,000 times. It's never gonna happen. I've gotten it already in my head.
Have you?
Yeah, I'm like, I would love a nice tight 90 minutes.
He legitimately looks like that's the first time you've said it. So in your face.
That's because he doesn't listen.
Well, I
to
know
me.
you say it takes you'd like a tight 90 minutes, but then I just let the show go, and then we're still at about 2 hours. So Doesn't
You
really
are the
matter.
one running the board and the time. You have it. All
Do you want to start running the shit?
Boys.
This one's gonna
Are we
drive
gonna
us.
fight right now? Here we go. We're gonna end our shooting the shit with the sounds of me and Troy entering a fist fight.
You're both pretty. You're both pretty, boys.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying. You're always cutting germ type short, man.
I'm not cutting it short. I'm cutting it at the exact time I want it to end.
And you never come with notes.
That's because it's about her life. Why do I gotta take?
I do like that your
note
guys.
wipes?
I do like that your guys' show is short though.
See,
Okay, well,
it's a tight
thank you.
30 minutes.
But sometimes
on
I
with
think
their
that what
day.
happens when he's like trying to cut me off ends up being the funniest part of the show.
You just add it in at the end.
I mean,
You
don't
spill it out.
don't stifle creativity.
Yeah.
But in the same sense, I like that it's short.
Okay.
There you have it.
All right. I'm just saying. Come with notes.
Oh my god. I don't see you editing the show.
Yeah, that's right. I go to bed, bitch.
Yeah, you usually go to bed and I stay up editing the show.
But then I'm up all night with our baby.
Not
it with my
before
body.
that. No, not before
Like, I want to
that.
pay for it, even just being on this show. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Well, I think a fun way to end the show is so we had a top 5 movies from Jude. We had a top
Yep.
5 movies from OJ.
Yeah,
See Danger.
What top 5 movies, like what?
Like
of their
yeah,
their
of ever.
top
Like
5
what
all time.
do you
All time?
what is your go-tos when it comes to movies?
See, I like watching the same, like, if I find a movie that makes me feel good, usually like a rom-com or something, I will watch it multiple times. I know we talk shit about Under the Tuscan Sun and My Big Fat
Yeah.
Greek Wedding, but, like, I tend to gravitate towards those movies. Like, if I see it, it's a feel-good thing.
Oh no, I got
But
the
I don't
same
really
thing.
have, like, a ton of, like, I don't have, like, a lot of like, I love The Office show, but, like, I love The Wedding Singer.
All
I
right.
love Under the Tuscan Sun.
Okay.
I love My Big Fat Greek
There you
Wedding.
go.
Shit, there's 2 more.
Hmm.
Why are you...
I'm trying to think what they would also be.
Yeah, I don't watch a ton of movies. There's a couple, like, there's another one, it's called Ever After with Drew... A lot of stuff with Drew Barrymore and Sandra Bullock, but I don't especially like
Lord.
them. It's weird.
You just don't like them?
no,
you just
they're-
like
I
the
wouldn't
movies
say, like,
they're in?
she's my favorite actress, but I like a lot of the movies they're in.
Like Ocean's 8.
Ever After is, like, a Cinderella one.
But those 3 are the ones you usually have on loop. Well, not on loop,
Yeah.
but then like the ones that are always kind of on. Otherwise, you don't really go back and watch a ton of other
unless
ones.
it's, like, something from, like, when we're younger, like, there's that, was it She's All That with Rachel Lee Cook and Freddie Prinze Jr., where she, like, comes down the staircase slowly.
What's the
Things
one
like that. Like, more nostalgic.
where Bill Pullman and Sandra Bullock are in it?
Bill Pullman and Sandra Bullock.
Are you talking about Hugh Grant and Sandra Bullock? 2 Weeks
No.
Notice? Because I love that one.
Not 2 weeks notice. The one where the guy gets amnesia, and
Yes!
she says she's married to
Oh
him.
fuck! What is it called?
Overboard? No.
No!
While You Were Sleeping.
While you were sleeping.
Oh.
that
Love that
was
movie.
on for.
I
want
want to do that on the show so bad because I've heard it's just ridiculous.
What? I love While You Were Sleeping.
I want to do it on the show.
Well, I'll go on and just save it from your scathing
Yeah,
review.
my whole idea is I want to bring people on that love movies that are not
Yeah.
generally
In our
loved
wheelhouse?
by people. Yeah,
I love that movie.
Because-
Actually, I like a lot of Sandra Bullock movies. I do. But she's not one
No,
of my
I-
favorite actresses. It's really weird.
and like that's the thing. I'm not against people that like see something in a movie that I don't really see.
I
'Cause,
like Indiana Jones. Those are action movies I like, except for the middle one. I don't like Temple of Doom.
all right, call him on, whatever. But no, like Molly fucking loves the movie Sucker Punch, and I have no idea what
Oh
she
my god,
sees in
I
it.
fucking hate that
Yeah,
movie.
I have no idea what she
That
sees
is,
in it.
if you want my top 5
So I
movies
want-
that should never have been made,
Yeah.
sorry, Molly.
I legit want to do a show where she's
Friendship
on,
over.
where she tells us what she sees in it. Because I'm like, I do
that
not
movie
know.
is literally just a wet dream.
It
is
is!
the director's wet dream, and it's stupid. It has stupid plot.
And she's you
I
talk to
literally
Molly.
wanted to ask for my money back at the theater. He had to stop me.
That's the thing. Like you talk to Molly, and she's like the most uber like feminist type person ever. Like she
Oh my God, I hate
always
that movie.
fucking hates when like guys like take advantage of women in some way. She fucking loves Sucker Punch, and I'm like, what the fuck do you see? And she'll say things here and there, or it's like, I guess, but that's not what it is.
Yeah.
So I legit want to do like a deep dive review. Like, what do you see in Sucker Punch that makes it this special to you?
Yeah. We've had that on the back burner for a while.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't.
Like,
put me on.
she's
Tina,
like-
I will offend her.
Like she will.
I'll
she will
probably offend her.
no, but she will like talk about shit where she's like, "This, I don't like this. This is so critical about like women and whatever." I was like, "You like Sucker Punch? What about Sucker Punch is not this? I want to know what you see in Sucker Punch."
That might not be good for your relationship.
Oh no, that's the
Just
thing. We
saying,
give
maybe this is not
we
the
give
best
each other
thing.
shit all the time. It's fine.
Oh, there's a really
She fucking
good...
made me on The Sims where I burp and fart all the time, and I was super pissed
I
about
want to see
it.
it. It reminds me of Dwight in Second Life on The Office, where he just like does his normal office job,
But then
in Second
flies.
Life. Yeah, that's his power. And then Jim spent a bunch of time in there, and he plays guitar.
Yeah.
Anyway, The Office I could watch over and over. But there have been more Netflix shows, movies. There's one. It's like To All the Boys I've Loved Before, and it actually it's so good. I've watched that like 5 times.
To all the boys, I
It's
thought
like
I heard
the-
about that.
Yeah,
somewhere.
it's like just this girl who writes letters to all of her major crushes, but just never means to send them, and then her
Yeah.
younger sister mails them.
Oh.
No, actually, it's a really cute movie.
Hold
like
on.
it's actually
Didn't
really
we talk
good.
shit about that on like a Teens Choice Awards thing, Troy?
Probably.
Yeah, because we
are
had no idea what the
assholes.
fuck it was.
It's really good. It really
I
is.
think I said to all the
It
boys
has-
I love. What the fuck is this
It has
bullshit?
the fiance / husband from My Big Fat Greek Wedding is the dad in this,
Perfect.
and he's a widow.
Oh. Sorry, I'm yawning.
Well, it's really good.
I don't hate Big Fat Greek Wedding, P.S.
See, a lot of my movies, a lot of shows that I pick, you
I
end
got
up really
sick
liking.
of Under the Tuscan Sun.
I know, yeah.
I haven't played a lot for a while. I'm like, enough. This house fucking sucks.
Now I really want to watch Wedding Singer.
Wedding Singer's fine.
I use memes from,
Of all the Drew
gifs.
Barrymore, Adam Sandler movies there are,
it's
that
so
one's
good.
the best
50
one.
First Dates, I like that one.
Yeah, that one's
See,
troublesome.
Molly likes like mystical shit. Like she loves Lord of the Rings and she loves
Oh.
Princess Bride.
I love Princess Bride.
Princess Bride's okay,
That's
but
a childhood thing.
Neil just posted that he was watching like Fellowship of the Ring, and
Ugh.
on the title screen he's like, "I'm already crying," and I'm like,
can't
"Fuck
do
that
it.
movie and that series."
Can't do it.
I can't get into that one fucking
No.
item.
I don't- yeah,
Harry
like, I don't-
Potter. I love the Harry Potter movies.
Oh, see, like
My list is
Okay.
getting longer. I do love the Harry Potter movies.
you just put on the newest one, like Crimes of Grindelwald,
well,
and I couldn't.
Those aren't Harry Potter.
It couldn't
Those are,
hold
like-
my attention
Oh,
for
yeah.
shit.
But the actual Harry Potter movies, I know I've caught you crying towards the
I've
end.
never cried at a Harry
okay.
Potter movie.
But you did watch them all with me.
I
And
did
they're
watch them
good.
all.
They are really good.
They get good at a point.
They
Fuck.
like get progressively darker and like.
I still couldn't tell you what happened at any of
Well,
them.
we're gonna rewatch them this fall.
I don't need to do any of
this
that.
fall
Yeah.
coming this fall.
The Harry Potter.
Troy's watching all the Harry
I don't
Potter
need to
movies.
do any of that. I've got other things to do.
You don't eat no meat. Big fat
I got
wedding.
plants to harvest outside.
That's it.
So
That's
Chelsea,
what's gonna
gonna-
take you all fall.
You gonna watch? You gonna watch
Yeah, with
Misery
your
for next
4
week? Troy?
raised beds.
You gonna watch Misery for next weekend, Chelsea?
No.
Why not?
I know the key point that's like culturally relevant from it.
All right.
The ankle breaking thing. I'm good.
All right.
Hoppling.
Yeah, I'm fine. I don't need to see it.
All
That's
right.
all you need to know.
We're
Chick
good.
breaks another guy's leg.
I
The end.
clearly like things that are uplifting, not.
I usually do
Misery.
We'll
too.
find something.
I usually do too.
Are you gonna watch a lot of the test pilots we're gonna do this year?
I haven't even told her about any of them.
Oh, you haven't?
You know how every year we do like a test pile of what's coming out on the networks?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
We're
then
doing
you shit on
that's
them.
coming
Hold
out
on.
sometimes.
Sometimes if they suck, we shit on them.
Yeah, some of the ones that you guys shit on though ended up being like huge this year. Like This Is Us. You shit.
That
on
was like 3.
That
We
sucked,
shit on
though.
it because we're like, we get what this is.
Yeah, but then
Like,
I don't think
it's
that was
just
really, I don't think you fully
schmaltzy.
give them a chance. You just
All
watch
right.
one pilot. And
Yeah,
then you're
we
like,
base
shit.
the show on the pilot.
Oh,
All right.
That's the gimmick of the show.
Here's what I got for the test pilots. This is all like in like the last weekend of September. So September 23rd, Bluff City Law, which is like Jimmy Smith's like runs like a law firm.
Boo.
Yeah. Perfect Harmony, where
Is it a singing a cappella show?
yeah, yep. No, it's like an a cappella show, but it's like Bradley Whitford is like the coach of like this choir.
Next.
Sunnyside, where Cal Penn runs like a
podcast.
support group, but it's by Michael Schur, who did like The Office and shit.
I'll check it out. When does Space Force come out?
Space Force.
I thought that was literally like the next show that Steve Carell was going to do.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
That's for a while, I think.
I don't know.
I don't know. I just want to know when that's coming out because that's supposed to be a show.
I'm not sure.
But then it's Prodigal Son, which is like some crazy like Silence of the Lambs ripoff, where like the son of like a serial killer uses him to fucking solve crimes. And then what is it, like Emergence? Yeah, Emergence.
Deliverance.
Which is like the next like, oh, what's happening type show, where it's like some woman finds
Like
a
that
little
stupid
kid that
Flight
came out of a
whatever
fucking
show.
pool
Yeah,
or some
exactly
bullshit.
like that.
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
Oh, that
It
show's
looks
stupid.
like dog
I
shit.
gave it a chance. It was stupid.
But like, the show I'm looking forward to is Stumptown, which is like Colby Smulders from How I Met Your Mother. Is like, she's like a hard-nosed detective. It looks like fun.
I'm just looking forward to the new season of SNL. I'm going to be honest with you. That's about all I got. And I really want to, it's on my list. I want to watch on Hulu 4 Weddings and a Funeral. Because it's like written and produced, I think, in part by Mindy Kaling.
Yeah, Mindy Kaling.
And that's supposed to be really good.
Well, I don't know.
Even
I heard
though
like
it's
Eddie
already out.
Murphy's gonna host an episode of Saturday Night Live this season.
I think
Yeah.
it's the opening episode.
Yeah, I'm
Son of a
super
bitch.
pumped.
Yeah.
I kind of got into SNL again. I loved it as a kid, and I got into it the last couple of
Well,
years.
shit.
Yeah. That was like our
Don't
usually...
watch it with my mom.
Oh, God. Because of the...
She gets a little offended by the political
aspects.
part.
But yeah, that was our
Well, I
Sunday
mean, I don't
morning.
blame her. I mean, Trump's like the best president we've ever had in our entire lives. You know?
Anyway, that is like our Sunday morning routine as we throw that on.
Yeah.
And drink coffee and watch SNL on Hulu. It's amazing.
It's only usually 30 minutes long because they cut out like a ton of skits that didn't work.
Yeah. Some of them are really funny.
Yeah. Some.
It's
Yeah.
usually the people you don't think are going to be really funny.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Most of the episodes of last season were pretty good. There's a few
Yeah.
clunkers in there.
The season before, I think it was 2 seasons ago, Jimmy Fallon was on, and they brought Justin Timberlake, which they're actual buds, but the two of them together are just fucking hilarious. It was like one of
It's
the
magic.
It was one of the funniest SNLs of probably the last 20 years. It was
Christ.
so the whole episode.
So
was
they
hilarious.
hosted together?
Jimmy Fallon hosted, but then Justin Timberlake was in a lot of the skits. Like they did a Family Feud where I think it was Family Feud where Jimmy Fallon was pretending to be Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Justin Timberlake was pretending to be Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Fallon was on the other side of the Family Feud and had to watch him be him.
Christ.
And it
Yeah.
was.
It was
my
good.
God.
And when you say 2 years ago, I think that was like 5 years
I
ago.
don't care. It was so good. There's this one skit where they're like dressed up like Christmas packages and they're rapping and they're like, "Bring it on down to Rappinville," and it's hilarious. All these Christmas. Oh my God, it's so
Christ. I love it.
Very good. Very good,
good.
Chelsea.
Guys, all right, well,
Very good.
I love Chelsea, I love you.
you should watch that episode. It'll change your life.
All right. I want to go home and do that.
And if you follow SNL on Instagram, lately they've been pulling like best skit episodes or like little snippets from
Yeah.
like through all the decades. And they have
Shit.
some really funny ones, and it'll just be in your Instagram feed.
God damn.
God damn!
Oh, now I want to watch Wedding Singer.
Not what I thought you were going to say, but very good.
Well, I'll do it. I
All right, that'll do it.
Watch Designing Women.
We're getting there.
Designing women.
You guys
full
could
circle.
you guys could use a couple episodes. I just feel like
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
you would need to just do it.
The whole day
JT, if people want to design your women,
Here
where
he
can
is
they do
wrapping
that?
you up.
Georgia,
Hold on.
Georgia.
That's actually the theme song.
Yeah, let's just make that the theme song.
No, I think
Well,
it
hey,
is.
they can find me at Bucky Fair on Twitter, Bucky Fair on Instagram, or Bucky Fair on Snapchat. See Danger, where can they find
I just don't.
your sexy ass?
No, my Twitter's private.
What about
Okay.
that Trump type?
Yeah, find me on Charm Type, our other show, where I just don't use swear words.
Charmies.
Yeah. Tell my
Charmies.
Charmies. P.S. I love Charmies, and I've gotten a lot of Snapchats of people listening to the show saying that they love being called Charmies.
Very good.
Sweet.
So suck on that. I know you listen to the show.
No, I don't want this. Why is... Hold on.
Not just anybody.
Stop.
What is happening over on your...
My finger's wet,
watches
and
a
I
lot of
tried to
porn
use
on
my
that.
fucking finger to, like, use the touchpad.
Do you have like a
thing.
virus protector on there?
No, I don't
Oh,
have it.
boy.
It's
Riddled with porn
riddled
viruses.
with porn viruses.
You can find me at Chart of the Max on Twitter. Hit me and JT both up at Review Pod on Twitter as well. You can find all of our episodes up on the internets pretty much everywhere. If you want to write into the show, do so at reviewpod@gmail.com.
Yeah. Also, go to independentwrestling.tv for 20 days for free if you use the promo code ZOWALIVE
Very
Wow,
good.
to watch it.
You're
Independent
promoting
wrestling.
a different...
What?
What do you...
No, so
Promoting a streaming service.
Yeah, streaming service
Oh.
through My
You're
Home
on-
Promotion.
all
ZOWA
right.
Live is on there. If you use the promo code ZOWA Live, you can get 20 days for free.
That's
20 days.
ZOWALIVE.
Yeah. And you can watch me wrestle.
Wait,
I do like watching you wrestle.
ZOWALIVE?
ZOWA.
You are the best wrestler
L-I-V-E.
of all the
I don't
wrestlers.
remember what I said.
Really? I'm the bestler, better
You
than all
put
the
a lot
wrestlers.
of tongue in it.
Bestler wrestler.
A lot of tongue. But you're
Anyway,
real
that's the
good.
show. Thursday, we got Misery
Misery
coming up.
Hopefully, we can find a means to do it where we don't have to rent through PlayStation.
Please don't buy it.
I'm going to not try to. I'm going to rent
We
it
need
as
to
much.
get like one of those jacked fire sticks. Come on, we got
And then,
kids.
and then
We
the
can't
show
go to
after
the
that,
theater.
I got the special treat,
The treat.
the Stephen King treat.
Ugh.
But that'll be the Monday yet? Or
No,
the next
What
Thursday.
The
is
next
it?
Thursday, yeah.
Got it. He'll let me know
Oh, is
next
it
week.
the...
I'll
No,
let him
it's
know.
probably going to be like The Shining, because that new version of that new movie where it's like the kid of The
It's
Shining.
not The Shining.
Is it that blob thing that's in the lake?
No.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Pet Cemetery?
that'll be.
Nope.
Good, because I hate that. I hate all of this.
Oh my God.
So Chelsea hates our show.
No, I can't do horror. I can't do it. I just cannot.
Horror.
You've heard my list of movies. I can't do horror.
Very good. Well, that's the show for this week. Till next time.
Join us for Misery for our next show. Until then,
I've been Charged to the Max Extreme.
Chelsea Danger.
I am JD3K.
And we are off.